On the second Tuesday in December, Sharon Hays used part of her fee in the Darla Cohen case to buy a car. She settled on a 3-year-old Buick Skylark, two-tone blue, with 28,000 miles on the odometer, and paid $6,800 after haggling with the used car manager at Don Snell Buick for a couple of weeks. She'd agreed on the price the previous Friday, but had spent the weekend agonizing over trading in her dented old Volvo. The Volvo had been her transportation for 8 long years, the car in which her daughter Melanie had grown into teenhood. As the salesman drove the heap to the rear of the lot, Sharon stood beside her shiny late-model Skylark and wiped away a tear. She rode to downtown Dallas in comfort, listening to a stereo system with no static in the speakers for a change, yet continued to pine for the Volvo. To hell with it, she thought. It was a piece of junk. She stopped by AAA bail bonds to drop off a check and pick up bail documents for 2 of her clients, a burglar named LaTerrence Williams and a drunk driver named Willis Clay. She then proceeded to the Lou Sturrett Justice Center adjacent to the Crowley Courts building, both mammoth structures on river bottom land west of downtown. She parked in the courts building lot and hustled over to the jail in muggy 78 degrees under an overcast sky. Nowhere else but Texas did one sweat profusely in the middle of December. God, wasn't winter ever going to come? She entered through double doors and stood at the bail release desk. The lone attending sheriff's deputy was at the back of the office with his feet up, watching television. Sharon flopped her briefcase onto the counter with a bang and loudly cleared her throat. The deputy didn't seem to hear. She harumphed a second time. The deputy looked at her over his shoulder. He was in his early 20s and wore a thin mustache along with wire-framed glasses. Sharon knew the guy by sight, but couldn't recall his name. "A minute, okay?" he said. "It's the Benedict deal." He squinted at her. "Oh, it's you, Miss Hays." He got up and walked quickly in her direction. The metal tag above his pocket identified him as Deputy Kinsolving. The sound on the TV was too low for Sharon to hear, but the picture told her all she needed to know. It was the daily White House press conference, and the attending newsies would be firing questions about the chief executive's position on the looming murder investigation targeting Will John Benedict. No one had charged Will John with a crime, but the leaks to the media had already convicted him in the public eye. Last night, Jay Leno's monologue had consisted of one joke after another about the case, none of which Sharon thought were very funny. The press conference vanished from view, replaced by a head and shoulders shot of Will John, alongside a photo of, what's-her-name, the victim. Poor Mattie Ruth, Sharon thought. As the deputy approached, she said, "That's about all you can get on TV. I've gotten sick of the whole thing." She also thought that the media was really feeding at the bottom by speculating on the dead girl's sexual history. The supermarket tabloids were having a blast. Yesterday's Inquisitor had featured a college student on the cover, his lips parted as if in shock, and the caption had read, "Courtney's college lover, whipped cream her specialty." The kid looked like a moron, and Sharon wondered how much the tabloid had paid him. Every time she heard Will John Benedict's name mentioned, Sharon had twinges of guilt that she hadn't felt since law school. She rolled her eyes at the TV, unfolded the bail bonds, and spread them out on the counter. "Could you let these little guys out for me, please? They tell me they don't like your Crossbar Hotel very much." The deputy spun the papers around so that he could read the prisoners' names. "I gotta tell you, Miss Hays, this is developing a lot of respect for you." Sharon leaned over the counter and looked down at the bail bonds. "Excuse me? Taking care of these 2 characters is developing respect?" The deputy waved a hand as if batting mosquitoes. "That you still take the time for cases like these. Most lawyers, when they get famous, they don't have time for the little guy no more." Sharon blushed in spite of herself. "Come on, I'm not that famous. Had my 15 minutes like everyone else in the world, but hey, 6 months from now, no one will remember my name." "Those people remember you." The deputy